Yo, 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 Rebels! Welcome back to the 120-minute debacle known as Detroit Sports Radio Rebels. And holy crap, is there a lot of meat on the bone this week? Man, NBA, NHL, all starting to kick off here. We got MLB playoffs, rain or not, it don't matter. They're going to try to get that thing in. They didn't care if there's a meteor shower going on. And then, in the end, it ain't going to happen anyway. And holy cow, could we have any more primetime games? I mean, if you have insomnia issues, oh, the Denver Broncos got your back. So, between that and all the dirt that's out there, let's just clean up this mess. So without further ado, let's do the do that we do at DSR2. I am Scrappy, and here is your host, the man, the myth, the legend, Johnny the Moon.
Hey, we're back here for another edition of DSR2 on this rather cold and blustery Wednesday here in October. We went from summer to winter in just a matter of a couple days. I guess it could be a little worse though. We could be all up in the UP in Marquette with like over a foot of snow on the ground.
I mean, comparing Michigan to Michigan is just not doing it. It's not going to work.
Yeah, Marquette gets a snowstorm and 5 to 6 foot waves. So there's surfing in a snowstorm in Lake Superior.
Welcome to Michigan, where you have 82 seasons in a day. And like we have seasons you didn't even know existed.
Winter surfing, the new hot sport.
Yeah, I mean,
it's fantastic.
We do all kinds of crazy weather here. Now look, that being said, we don't have real crazy weather. Like we just don't. Like
No.
it's just we just have it all in one day. We don't have hurricanes or tornadoes or occasional tornado, but yeah, we don't really have anything crazy here.
No.
It's just it could be 70 one day and 10 below the next.
Right.
It could be snowing and you know what? In Michigan, it can quite literally be snowing in the front yard and sunny in the back.
Yep.
It can quite literally be raining out in the street and be sunny in your backyard.
Yes.
It's like that here. And so I've literally drove into the crap. Like you could see the line, like a wall.
Oh yeah,
And
whether it's rain or snow, you can see it.
Yeah, and you can just drive, poof, it's like driving right into a wall. So that's Michigan for you with the way the lakes kind of position
Yes.
themselves around us. So I'm not complaining because I really benefited from what Michigan has to offer last weekend. I went up north and closed my, as a lot of us Michiganders have property up in the northern part of the state. I went and closed mine up for the winter because it gets cold up there, and that's the rules. If you're not up there and you can't keep the place warm, you don't want all your pipes to freeze, so you blow all your pipes out and you do all that. So I went and did all that, and the ride home was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, with the leaves changing, the fall colors and stuff like that, it looked like it looks like it's like a Bob Ross painting on steroids, and you're just driving through it in real life. It's just the craziest thing. And so yeah, it was beautiful, man. Like I got a lot of cool, good pictures and stuff like that, and like I was just in awe. I had as I told you before, and if you guys aren't hip to this, the SXM radio, they have an app that's got the NFL, it's got its own access station, and they do their version of Red Zone on the radio, and they do a very good job. Because TV, it's easy to go from clip to clip to clip, but you have to set up every radio call you go to because people can't see it on the screen.
No.
So you don't know what radio call you just got sent to if they don't tell you.
Right.
So they have to set everything up, and they do a very good job of whipping around the league. And so I was in my glory, man. The early set of games, my drive overlapped for the first half of the games a little bit more, and I just had that on and was listening to the games and enjoying. I'm like, oh, look at this. She thinks I'm reacting to the games, and I'm like actually reacting to the scenery for once. And she's like, oh my god, I thought you were talking about the game. I'm like, no, look, she's reading a book. I'm like, what are you reading a book for? Look around, look around. And
you're getting everything in Technicolor, baby.
Yeah,
it's in 4K.
Well, she's so wrapped up in this book, and she's like, oh, what am I doing? She did put it down and watch, but it was in look and enjoy. But it was like at first, I'm like, why are you reading your book? But yeah, that's the one beautiful thing about Michigan. We get a little bit of everything as far as great scenery.
Yeah, because it's gonna it was in the low 40s here today, rain off and on yesterday, and then by Saturday it's gonna be 70.
Yeah, yep. Oh, that's fine.
That's fine. Good, because I got stuff to do in the yard Saturday.
Yeah, I was gonna say I did most of my yard stuff, but I could do a few more things.
I got some stuff I want to get prepped up for winter and get everything done. And
I could rake this stupid tree up and then be mad that by the time I'm done, it looks like I didn't do anything, and I could start all over again. There's that insanity that I've got going on. Speaking of the definition of insanity, there's a lot of that going around through the NFL. We've got plenty of.
You can't blame us this year on Pick'em because we're not doing too good. But it's like
this week's pick'em last week's pick'em was horrible.
But again, there's been upsets that have no business happening.
Well, in both college and the pro game.
College, pro, and baseball.
Right, and then there's no shortage of drama really anywhere it seems because they just if we can't manufacture new stuff, we'll bring up the old stuff. I mean, you had the NBA champs get their ring not long after the throwdown.
Yeah.
And the whole Draymond Green thing, man. I guess we haven't really touched much on that yet either. So maybe we got that.
Well, yeah, we got Draymond punching. Basically, is he got into a scuffle with Jordan Poole?
Yeah, he popped him one day.
Well, we're setting up the pop because he basically kind of thumped him, whatever. And Poole's like, "Get out of my face!" And he sucker punches him, and of course on there. Now it looks as obviously you look on there what they've just done signing wise. Poole just gets a new 4-year deal worth $130 million or $140 million, so it's $30 million.
The writing's on the wall, Draymond. Thank God you got a podcast.
And Wiggins just got a new deal too, so worth like $120 million too. So they just locked those two guys up. Guess what? Who's the odd man out? You are.
Good thing Draymond's got that podcast that he's so proud of and so happy to do. Hopefully he can parlay. They'll put him on TV somewhere because he'll be the new Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
They're just waiting for him to say dumb stuff. Like they have no problem bringing him in to say dumb shit. No. So that's where he's gonna go. He needs to go bye-bye. I don't know. Like this team, they don't need him.
No. Because again, he's no longer the facilitator because it's going to be pool.
Did you see what they did? The Lakers aren't even a factor this year. If that's the way it's going to go. I mean, holy cow. Well, I mean, we talked about that too. So, like, the NBA has got drama, and we just started. So, like, I'm loving this. I told you, man, these are the weeks that are my favorite. These couple of weeks here are my favorite. And MLB, rain or shine, they were going to get that game in, weren't they?
Yeah.
But they didn't.
Nope.
And then we were forced to watch Russell Wilson. I didn't. I went to bed.
Oh, I basically went to bed early too. I'm
Yeah.
like, how was this? I grabbed the book, read a little bit on there, and
I'm like that game with the overtime. Holy crap! Look, if you're the junkie that most of us are when it comes to the NFL,
especially when all the games we had on Sunday and the college games on Saturday, and we got this crap on Monday night. Click.
Yeah, I can't.
I ain't got time for that.
And people watch that. They soak that up. Some people chose that over the game, and then we're like, or the baseball game, and then, well, look, baseball game got rained out anyway, and then that game was garbage, and then it went to overtime. You had to watch extra.
Yes.
Extra time of that. And guess what? They got 4 more in prime time.
Oh my God.
4 more standalone games. I think they got it. I think they got the London game coming up, don't they?
They probably have a London game coming. Yeah, probably.
So that's another standalone game.
Oh my God.
I mean, they're just gonna
be.
Good
news with the London game is we don't have to get. I mean, if you don't want to get up early on a Sunday morning, you don't have.
Well, this is the whole thing. Like, if you wake up early, just put the game on and then go back to sleep.
Yeah, because it will put you to sleep.
They are. I mean, that's the only thing that game was good for. If you couldn't fall asleep on Monday and you were all pumped up for a baseball game that didn't happen, and you could just turn on Russell Wilson, he'll put your ass to sleep.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, you looked at that game was just a train wreck.
I mean, they're not even. He's like melatonin. He's like the human form of melatonin.
He's ambient. Watch that, fall asleep, and start making races.
Russell Wilson went from cooking to Ambien. Now he's Ambien.
Especially when you had such a great game Sunday afternoon. The 4:30 or 4:25 game with Bills Chiefs.
Yeah, classic game. You knew you were gonna get.
We knew we were getting that. We said this. Was it a 42? No, but it was still bad.
It had everything.
It had everything I wanted.
Yeah.
Great, you had some great defense. It had everything checked.
Yep, absolutely. So you got that. Well, you knew that was going to happen, but this is the story, right? I mean, the regular season is all about the Buffalo Bills at this point. Can they do it when it matters most? And then, of course, we've got all. Hey, as far as I'm concerned, we've got our new Manning Brady type situation going on here.
Oh yeah,
with Mahomes and Allen.
Oh yeah.
So I'm all in, especially as I watch the old guys wither away because Brady and Rodgers are coming unglued.
Yes.
Like before our very eyes. So we're the party / wedding / I didn't know what it was / I left now /
my
I'm
wife
yelling
is leaving me.
I mean, like, there's all kinds of stuff going on here. There's, like I said in the intro, there is a whole lot of meat on this week's Bone Moose. Where do we flip and start?
You know what? Let's jump right into it. Right now we've already talked about the rain out and everything. We got to talk about some MLB. I think really because it's the playoff time.
Yeah, it is playoff time. Yanks doing what the Yanks do, I guess.
Yanks are up 1-0 on the Astros. Top of the second. Padres are up 8-5 on there. Yeah, I mean, if you look on there, I mean, again, we all thought, okay, Braves. It's gonna be Braves-Dodgers battling it out.
Right.
And
not so much.
No, I mean, Braves get through the Mets. All of a sudden, Philly comes in there and just takes them to the woodshed.
Well, Philly fans right now are in all their effing glory.
Oh, of course.
And I feel like there has to be some kind of balancing of the force here because
they got the Sixers and they suck because they lost.
It's the same thing with the whole Boston scenario. They can't just hoard everything.
No.
And Philly fans are not the type of fans that
are gracious.
Yeah, I just don't feel they don't deserve it to me. And sorry, Philly fans, not sorry. You did it to yourself.
Because you booed Santa Claus and you threw snowballs at him, and that's where it all started.
This is the thing about Philly fans, and this is why I lose a little bit of that R for these cats right here. Okay, so you're like that. You're gangster, right? Like you're throwing stuff at Santa. You're hood. Yeah, I saw you in Detroit.
You didn't want any part of us.
You didn't want no part of us. We had to fight ourselves.
We have no problem with
that.
that.
We have no problem with that. We'll beat the crap out of each other too. So if you ain't want none, then we'll just beat the crap out of ourselves. Y'all grabbed your girls and ran like you were like teenagers at a party. And like the big jock came in, and you're like, oh nope, grabbing my girl and leaving now.
No, we're the thug burnout.
Yeah. We came in, whatever it is. You grabbed your girl and ran.
We're dunking in some kind of wonderful on there. This
there
party's about to become a historic fact.
So
I'm going to kick your ass because you know it and you deserve it.
And that's the way it really did come off that way at the Lions Philly game. But that's and they travel well.
Yeah.
And that's what I will give Philly fans
they
credit for.
They showed up and traveled.
They show up. Philly fans do show up, so I will give them credit for that.
I'll give them that on that.
But I mean, you guys are a bunch of savages until you meet
somebody that's really a savage.
Yeah.
So yeah, they take care of the Braves, which I was kind of surprised on. Dodgers absolutely just getting shellacked by the Padres. That's the shocker one. Dodgers had won 111 games and they're out in essentially the divisional round.
Unbelievable.
Done.
Unbelievable.
They've been in the playoffs 10 straight years and they've only got one World Series to show for it.
I've heard more people compare the ramp up in play in this MLB postseason to the NHL postseason more than I've ever heard it before. Remember, we always talk about how the NHL, the difference between regular season and postseason is just so crazy. The way it just seems to ramp up in the competition and anything can happen and the parity and all that. And then you look at the NFL as the ultimate, model of parity. But man, did MLB deliver so far in these playoffs?
Oh my! And everybody's bitching about the format because you got the wild card round is now 3 games and you've got an extra round.
But did it not deliver?
It delivered.
Well then.
And then they got the divisional round. Oh, everybody's bitching about the divisional round. Well, why isn't that 7 games anymore? Why is that 5? That's bullshit. I'm thinking, win.
And you had these things went 5 games.
Yeah, you're Atlanta. You know what? You're the Dodgers, and you're Atlanta. You had time off and everything.
These series
should be ready.
These series delivered. I don't want to hear it. And everybody kind of goes on the same thing. These guys travel and play games the next day.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
I like that fact. I love the fact it was like, okay, holy crap, Dan, the favorites didn't get to it. All right. And we'll see on there.
Well, that's what we love about all these other sports, or all these, right?
Yeah,
these
the
other
underdogs.
Everybody lives for that underdog or that crazy upset, and we got a lot of it this weekend.
I mean, the Padres I'm impressed with because they did it without their best player with Tatis because he basically was doing PEDs and suspended.
Right.
And they did
that, and that's the other part of it too. People are like, well,
Philly basically was under 500, fire their coach, goes on a run, gets to the playoffs. Now they're basically essentially tied up with the Padres, 1-1 in the NLCS.
It's crazy. Addition by subtraction.
Yeah.
Sometimes cats can just come together. It's like,
Yeah, we look under. So I don't have any under. The only thing is like people are bitching. Well, I can't root for the Astros. I can't root for the Yankees ever.
Yeah, well, our geographic location is not allowed for that, really.
No.
We've always kind of had that rivalry there.
And me being a little older than most of the people out there, I remember when we were in the NL or the AL East, and the Yankees were on there.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not rooting for the Yankees. Not happening there. So we got that.
Well, I think a lot of people. I mean, have you not gotten past the whole sign stealing thing or whatever the hell they were doing? I mean, how many years ago was that now? It's been, what, 3?
4, 5?
Yeah. I mean,
you know what? You ain't cheating. You ain't trying. And again, it's stealing signs. I mean, it's the oldest as the damn
that's
game.
That's what I'm saying.
Long.
It's not like, it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, and then they got caught, and then we move on. And then they're still crushing you.
Right.
So what do you want? Like, obviously, it helps maybe a little bit, but not enough to knock them out of the playoffs or competition. It's not like, they were like some kind of, as Bobby Heenan would say back in the day, ham and egger, right?
Yep.
Oh,
Absolutely. So again, I liked it and everything with it. So yeah, so we got the baseball going on. Then we got the on there. So we'll get into we'll keep an eye on the games going on there in the NLCS and the ALCS as they go on there. Right now, I have no clue on there.
did anything could happen now?
Right.
I'm going. It takes me right back to the NHL playoffs where I just don't know who could win. So that's what I feel like here now. You just don't know, and you already got series tied that you didn't even think you'd have series of.
Right. And again, I'll probably root for San Diego because it's San Diego.
Sure. I don't see the thing about baseball is it's so regional. I don't really.
Yeah.
I'm not.
And there again,
It's not really. I don't. I want the drama. I want to
Right.
see the story. So I'm gonna be watching these games. If they're close, I want to see that.
Man.
If there's other kind of drama, I want to see that. If these series go, the full thing, I want to see that. Those are the things that I'm looking for. If the underdog wins, I want to see that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the kind of stuff. And MLB's been delivering because that's the whole thing with it. I think with MLB over some of these other sports is they are so regional. If it's not your home team or your team that you root for on a daily basis, then you're just not paying attention.
Yep.
And so if they can provide this kind of drama and these kind of games, with the way they set up their playoff system or who they bring in and have some upsets and do all that, that's only going to bring people to watch the sport more. And when your average viewer is like 65 years old,
Yes.
you're in trouble. So you really need to get more people involved in baseball. And hey, man, these playoffs, I'm not gonna lie, have delivered up to this point. So like,
No, I mean these have been a great run in the
Yeah.
playoffs on there, and I have
So-
nothing but praise on it with on it. Here locally, and we're halftime for NBA opener there for our Pistons on there. They're up 57-55.
oh,
They were down. They were down by 12 in the early first
okay.
quarter.
Who they playing today?
Orlando.
Orlando.
So,
Yeah, they need to spank Orlando.
so we got that on it. But yeah, I mean, over the weekend there, we had MLB playoffs action. We had some great NFL action going on there, and then we had some stinkers. We had lots of upsets, and then we had lots of upset in college basketball, but some great games in college basketball on there. I mean, that Tennessee Alabama game was just
You
something.
mean football? Or you keep saying you said
I mean,
basketball?
football.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was something to behold. That was
dude.
that
come
was
on.
that was something to watch.
I mean, everybody was like, but we said it here, man. I don't care what anybody says about whatever and whatever, and I hate to do all that. Oh, we told you so stuff because it isn't that. But we had the conversation about Bama. It wasn't a matter of if. It was a matter of when.
Right.
Because they should have lost maybe once or twice already.
Yeah, they should have lost. I mean, if Evers doesn't
Definitely
get hurt
the
in that
A&M
Texas
game.
game, no, the Texas game. If
game,
Evers
thank you.
doesn't get hurt, they lose that game, and they should have lost to A&M.
A&M is the one they should have
Right.
lost.
So
right.
there's no dominant team right now in college football. Any team can win it there on it.
Well, everybody's shilling for Ohio State now.
Ohio State is not showing on there. Yes, Stroud is looking great. I mean, they're doing it now without the GB Smith and that, but Harrison Jr. is looking fantastic. The defense is still looking soft,
Right.
and I don't know on that. Well, so I think Michigan and Ohio State are going undefeated until they play each other in November.
That's going to be awesome.
And that will be just like, that will be the biggest game in this series since 06.
Yeah, and it's huge because because now you're looking at some of these other teams, when you look at just in the top 10. I mean, obviously you had 6-3 Bama and Tennessee. See that second half was
Awesome. I mean,
Awesome.
I was out there and I'm basically.
Oh man.
Kids are going for their senior pictures, so we're at the cider mill for the afternoon, but I'm on my phone looking at it. And the guy's like looking, and he goes, Elsa, he sees me in on my Michigan gear. I'm like, yeah, we're watching Elsa. He goes, oh, I'm like, and I'm looking, I go, dude, Tennessee's up 28 to 14.
Yeah.
They're up 28-14. He goes, get out of here.
They were up like 21-7 or something.
I know,
like
they
that
were up
at one point.
28-7, and all of a sudden it was 28-14. Then back and forth, and all of a sudden they pull it out there. and the fan base goes nuts. They storm the field, they tear down the goalposts, and people are all bent out there. Why are they doing that goalpost? It's all a joke, guys. They did that as a kind of a joke on there, and they said, "Screw it, we're going to run with it."
Right.
What the hell? Dude, they got enough money to pay for goalposts. They already have new goalposts there. They'll take that GoFundMe and they'll probably donate it to some charity or so
Yeah,
forth with
say
it.
Peyton Manning put some new ones up.
I mean, Peyton Manning's got the money. He could pay it for a couple of
Goalposts are in his backyard right now.
But I love the fact that
You
they're
don't know.
tearing down the goalposts. There's guys sitting on top of the goalposts as they're running them over through the stadium, smoking a cigar. I'm thinking, that's awesome.
That's
I mean, you got the president of the university sitting in the box house, and he pulls out a cigar and lights it up. The hell with it. The players got cigars.
It's just a mid-season game, but
it's not just a mid-season
not
game.
when it's Bama.
It's Bama.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is their big. This is Tennessee's biggest win since 1998.
You know, Tennessee puts a 50 burger on Bama, and the fans cry that the referees stole the game, and it's just I'm so done with you whiny Bama fans. It's the same thing with a lot of different fan bases. But you guys, I get it. You're not used to losing or whatever and having those, but it's okay.
I'll tell you one thing is
It's
right
okay if you're
now, you
not-
watch that game. Yes, I know Bryce Young put up a ton of yards, but he only had 2 touchdowns. Hendon Hooker outplayed Bryce Young.
Oh yeah.
Yes, 385, 5 touchdowns. He outplayed. He's probably your second. He's probably in the top 3 for the Heisman right now. Probably number 2 right now for the Heisman voting on there. I think Stroud's probably. But again, games like this, beating on there. Now, what does Tennessee do? Because they have to play Georgia down the line. That's the key. What do they do against Georgia? Now, if they beat Georgia on there, and he has another good game, Hooker might win the Heisman, and he may move into that first round pick in the top 5 pick on there. I actually like him a little better than Bryce Young because he's a little bigger, taller, stronger, bigger. Because, I mean, as much as I love Bryce Young and everything he does, he is slight. He's not a big guy on there. I think Stroud's the better of the 2 on there, and I think Hooker may pass Young and be just behind Stroud in that. But
it's his dual threat, right? Like, because he's mobile.
Yes.
And so you can't. That is, that's the quarterback you want. I mean, that's what they play in college and even the pro game. You've got to be mobile. That pocket's got to move around. But he added 56 yards to his 385 yards passing on the ground. So, yeah, he's definitely an impressive specimen, so to speak. And he got the seal of approval when big 4-headed cigar smoking Peyton Manning comes in there with his 5 head, and Pat says you got it, man.
Yeah.
So, and that game was, like I said, when you beat Bama and you do it on a the national stage, as they say.
Yeah, that's right.
You gotta love it. I mean, it's a top 10 match.
That's right. I got a friend I've known for going on 45 years now.
Mm.
Bama's they come. The whole family's Bama. They're originally the family's from the Alabama spur.
Just roll tide,
baby. It's all roll tide down there. And he's on, and I'm like, of course, after they lose, he's like, oh, and I'm like, of course, I had to post under. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee.
No. You're an evil bastard. Dude.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I remember when they lost to Texas years ago in the Cotton Bowl. Walked in, they went, Uncle Horns, baby.
You're an evil bastard.
But again, he's got how many damn national titles?
Hell yeah, they can take it. They need to be able to take it. You gotta have
right.
And this is my whole thing from a fan base. And I don't mean to. And Philly fans, I already see the text lines. Whatever, dude, stop. Same thing with Bama fans. Just pump the brakes, guys. We're here having fun, and it's entertainment. What I'm talking about with fan bases is, like, when you win a lot, like, and then you start losing, it's okay. Like, enjoy what you won, and it'll be reciprocal. And if you've got a good team, you'll be back eventually. And
right.
And it's okay that if you're not great this year, and it doesn't have to be everybody else's fault. It doesn't.
No.
You don't have to be this crazy whiny, like over the top. None of that has to be. It's just okay if they're just okay. And then one day they're good again, okay? It's all right. Even if it takes a while, even if they go to bad and have before they come, it's all right. Like everybody goes through it. So when you, as a fan base, whether you're a sore winner or a sore loser, it really it doesn't work well with everybody else who is just patiently waiting their turn, so to
Oh yeah,
speak.
and again, listen, guys, you've won 6 titles in roughly 12 years.
Yeah, like
And again, you've been to how many championship games in
yeah.
that period of time,
I
and how
mean,
many times you've been to the?
I got the world's smallest violin right
You
here
know
for
what?
you.
Yeah,
You know what
come
I
on,
mean?
guys. You know everybody else has these ebbs and flows, ups and downs under, and you've been pretty much
You,
dominant
we,
for a decade plus.
we get it. From a Michigan fan standpoint, right? Like for all those years, we dominated college football, and then all of a sudden we had the Rich Rod era,
Yes, and everything with the shit.
and so like we get it. We're just trying now to climb out of the hole with a nutcase that will hopefully get us to the promised land at
Yes.
some point. And it's you how long has it been? 20 years, Moose?
Yeah, 25 years since, and then Saturday was the 25th anniversary where they
Man.
had all the players there and everything with it on there. But yeah, Michigan played Penn State. Again,
Could
the
it?
top 10 would match up,
Yeah.
and we take them to the woodshed.
Well,
I mean,
and
they
the score doesn't really do it
Yeah,
justice
yeah.
either.
I mean, yeah, we
because
won
they,
by 24. It wasn't even
it,
that close.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, well, it was one of those games, Moose. We talked about it a little bit when we first getting set up for the show. That when you, I get nervous when it comes to Michigan. Like that's my anxiety team, right? So like when you're doing everything right and you're dominating like all the stats and all the everything, every statistical category, but you're losing or tied or whatever or
Yeah.
it's close, and like that it drives me nuts. So at least the second half was like okay, enough playing around, and we got some separation there. And like you said, the scoreboard does not isn't indicative of really how dominant they were from beginning to end, from top
Yes.
to bottom, and in just about every category. And that's good when you're talking about another top 10 team and you can dominate like that and you can put that scoreboard up. Like I'm with it.
I mean, I kind of was joking on there too last week and everything with her. Like, oh, I said, we'll take care of Penn State. Penn State doesn't show up in Michigan. They usually get housed. And
Well,
they're
they
like,
do struggle in the big house.
and they're like, oh, well, and then when and he's like, well, James Franklin's a boob. Great recruiter, but he can't coach.
Well, but sometimes, and we've learned that here, like I don't know that Harbaugh is a great coach. He's a good recruiter. He's a good motivator. If he delegates well, then it works out. But when he's in his own little echo chamber, his own little tunnel, doing everything on his own, and it doesn't work.
Right.
The reason they've been so successful is because he's been bringing in these younger coordinators and allowing them to make decisions.
And that's just recently too, because
Right.
he didn't do that
right.
the first 5 years on the
Well, and it's an obvious change. And they said, "Hey, we're going to take your money, dude. And we're going to give it to somebody else." Like, come on.
Yeah.
Essentially.
And of course, he got all the money back of the
Yeah.
bonuses because they had a great year, and then this year he
Right.
gets his
Well,
contract and so forth. But yeah,
yeah.
you get these younger coordinators that are a fresh mindset with it. Plus, the defense wise is you get a guy on there. Mittner was basically also with the Baltimore Ravens on there, was on there, and they almost took him instead of him last year, but then they took the on there, but then he goes back to Baltimore. Mittner's over at Vanderbilt, and they're like, hey, we want you to come here, take over as coordinator. We loved you last year to do
Right.
the interview, but we want you to run the same concept as what was done on there. But it's the same thing he was running in Vanderbilt, same thing they all ran out of Baltimore. So it's the same concept with it. 2 year, but it's new coaches, but
Right.
it's the same play call. It's
Sure.
the same play. It's the same scheme, both offense and defense on there. And again, Michigan is that rarity, and especially college football. They're playing pro style. They're going old school. They're like running it right. Well, guess what we're going to do? We're going to block. Go up there. We're going to block, and we're running it right down your throats. And these guys on there, these defenses, they're all used to playing the spread, so they're playing a 4-2-5 or on their defense, or a 3-3-5 defense, and they can't handle power football.
Right.
because they don't have the personnel. Now it will switch around and come back
Sure.
and catch
Yeah.
up,
Yeah.
just like it always does. So when you had these bigger linemen and bigger linebackers, and they went to the spread and they couldn't keep up with the speed, guess what? Now we got speed on there, but now we're playing. Michigan is going, man, we're playing pros. We can run the read option and everything. We can do all that, but
Sure.
our bread and butter is we're going to run it right down your throats.
Yeah. No.
And we're going to go over the top. We're going to do play action, but we are going to do read option. We're going to throw all sorts of stuff on there, and I think that throws everybody for really now. They've got the personnel, and you've got a veteran offensive line this year. And again, they were already the best offensive line in football last year, and
That's
this
gonna
year
be the
they're
key.
even better. They
That's
even look better this year than they did last year.
that's gonna be the key to maintaining longevity. Look, you can go after all these skilled position players and do all this stuff, and you're gonna have to, and you're gonna have to land them. But you're gonna have to get these offensive linemen, and not just get good ones, but get them to stay
Yes.
because it's that continuity that creates this greatness, right?
Right.
So like,
That's what creates a dynasty
yeah,
is continuity,
yep,
getting guys there, whether it's on the offensive line, the defensive line,
sure,
linebackers. Get these cats in there. The ones that are basically the important thing. They're not the skill position, but they're very important to the scheme of winning. And you're getting these guys to stay in for 3, 4 years,
right,
and you're getting that cohesion both on offensive line and defensive line. That's where
right.
you're seeing that.
Because your flashy skilled players, they're gonna go after two in a lot of cases.
Right. And then
So you've got to really hit on those other ones. I'm not taking away from all. You have to get the big time recruits. There's no doubt about that. But I think people underestimate how important that really is, and how it's been the key to Michigan's turnaround. It really has, because let's be honest about it. Before, those are the two things that have turned Michigan from, okay, yeah, Harbaugh's going to come in and do something, and it was a total flop job. And do we replace him? What do you do with him?
right.
And now, and they've turned it around and are a legitimate contender, definitely in the Big Ten, but even in the national
Right.
championship picture.
Oh yeah.
And so the reason that happened is because of obviously the coaching thing that we talked about earlier, but because of this as well. And so, all of it, it's just those I just feel like have been the two crucial cogs to that kind of turnaround, and it'll be also crucial going forward for longevity.
Yes.
And we'll see how it all plays out, because you have NIL involved, and it changes everything.
Right.
You've got the portal now, and it's basically free agency. And the good thing is at least Harbaugh has that pro experience where he kind of knows how that goes. But how does he twist that into what is uncharted territory, really, because NIL is so new that you only can kind of reference what you've done and dealt with in college prior, and the what he's by your experiences, right? What he's done in pros, what he's
Right.
done in college so far, and hopefully his hybrid experience will help him deal with that a little bit. But it's not like Michigan, the state of Michigan is known for like having like this huge money market where we can draw NIL. It doesn't. It's not like a place where people clamor to be from a geographic standpoint. And then the history that they used to have is really that, and they used to have it. They
Yeah.
don't have it now, and so yeah, how long can they maintain this thing? And that to me is going to be the ultimate trick. And is Harbaugh here for the long haul, or are we going to be starting all over again the minute he wins a championship? That those are all things.
I think right now is when I think he tried to dip his toe back in the water, and they didn't want it.
No, I don't think anybody wants him like that. But if he wins multiple
Nah.
national championships, is there another school that wants him? Does he want to go to another school?
I don't know if he goes to another school.
I don't know if he does either. So I don't know if another opportunity opens up in the NFL. His name will always. He's
If
gonna be
he
one
wins
of
a
those names that's
natty
always
on
brought
there,
up.
say they win a natty this year, then you know what, he probably will listen, see what dip it in and see what they say and everything with it. But if he gets the same response he got last year, I think then that's it. I don't think he goes. I think he's done
I think
because he's 57 going on 58.
right. I wonder if he. You know how he's so goofy and weird and like aloof and all these
I think
odd
I
things.
think he's a college coach.
if he, yeah, I was gonna say, I wonder if he,
I mean, even though
kind of,
if you look on his record with in the pros, he was with the Niners, he was 42-21, and somebody posted, well, Kyle Shanahan's only 47-46 while with the Niners, and they rave about him.
right.
And again, yes, under he dipped it under. He had some success. He got to a Super Bowl. He got to the playoffs 3 of his 4 years there.
So I'm just wondering if he can maintain a history, a recent history of not being a goof and not doing all those
I
loony
don't.
off the wall things. And you know how it is in the NFL with coaches turning over and who's the hotness. Let's say let's say he wins a national championship in the next year or two. He swoops up a couple Big Ten championships in that time, and they're just kind of a perennial like team to deal with now.
Right.
Then does he take one more stab at it at the end of his career?
He may try to see for money on it, but the money grab is he's already probably
I
making
don't
more.
think it's a money grab.
No, because you can't because he's making just as much now as he
Yeah.
would be in the pros.
Yeah, I don't think it's a money grab situation. I think it's my brother's got a Super Bowl. I want one.
Right.
I'll have two. I'll have a national championship and a Super Bowl.
And he hasn't gotten a national. I know we'll see.
So,
That
you know
may
what I'm saying?
happen on there where the
So,
egos on within the family and that.
I mean,
Or maybe maybe they'll say is you win the Super Bowls, I'm winning the Natties.
I mean,
And then who gets the most titles in the end, they win, and that'll decide on who wins.
no, because Super Bowls outweigh natties. Sorry, you need two natties for every Super Bowl, so that ain't gonna work.
Well, again, if he wins 4 and John wins 2, then who knows? John might be. I mean, he's.
And then he beat him straight up head to head,
right.
so
But,
he's got the tiebreaker too.
Yeah, with ball, and we'll get into the NFL and that
Yeah.
under. But yeah, we had Michigan take care of Penn State. Syracuse 6-0.
What's up there?
ACC.
I
It's going to be them or Clemson wins the ACC.
That's so wild.
I think Syracuse goes to the ACC championship game, and then we'll see what happens.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you look on there, you go, what the hell happened there? We got, Syracuse. That was a good match. That was on there. Oklahoma finally getting a win on there after a couple of bad losses. Beating Kansas. The Kansas story's been great throughout the last 2 weeks. It's reality.
Yeah.
We got that. Ole Miss is 7-0 in the SEC. They took care of Auburn. We'll see what happens. I mean, if Ole Miss can get their passing game going on there, they can be dangerous too because they've got a great running game in that, but they don't have the passing attack that they've had in previous years. Clemson, obviously, they're 7-0. They took care of Florida State on there, so we got that. Oklahoma State, TCU was another great matchup there.
Yeah.
TCU wins that one on there. Utah, USC, another great matchup. Utah wins that one. I mean, it was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Texas beating Iowa State. That was a good matchup as well. Yeah, there were some really good college games to watch on there. Illinois 6-1 in the Big Ten West. They're going to win the Big Ten West.
That's crazy.
Illinois. As much as I make fun of Illinois, as the school where dumb kids from Chicago go on there. But Brett
They
Bielema
scratched themselves into the top 25, and
yeah, they're in the top 25 on there. Brett Bielema is basically making Wisconsin South. He's going back to what he was when he was at Wisconsin. Power run, running right down their throats. Old school, get these monsters on the offensive line and just run it right down their throats. And that's what he's basically gone back and done now with Illinois in their second year, and they're 6-1 on there. And again, Michigan has to play Illinois later in the year. That's one of our crossover games. But Illinois does have to come to the big house, so we'll see on that one as well. Georgia beats up on Vanderbilt. Well, it's Vanderbilt, so it really doesn't matter. It doesn't really count.
So the Syracuse run come to an end this week. I got Clemson. So I mean, we could end up with some interesting games going forward because I mean,
yeah, we
got a couple good matchups here next week.
I think Syracuse loses one to Clemson on there. It's 13.5 right now, the spread on it.
Oh yeah.
I take Q's into points. I'm still not sold on Clemson. I think the defense is pretty good, but I'm still not sold on them as being back to where they were before with Lawrence and Watson. I don't see that happening there. I think that's going to be a great matchup to watch. Oklahoma State, Texas is going to be a great matchup to watch as well.
Yep.
UCLA, Oregon, that's going to be the best.
there.
Right there is going
Yep.
to be your best game of the week.
Yep. That's the 3:30 slot on Fox. So that's.
And then we got
good time.
and then we got TCU, Kansas State. That's an 8 o'clock game. I think that's going to be a really nice game because again, on there, Mississippi State and Alabama. Bama's favored by 21. I do not want to be playing Bama this week on there because coming off that
They're
loss,
going to be mad.
They're going to be mad and running out to down there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we look at that and it's interesting. So on there, but there's some great matchups and everything with it. And as I said, is the football has been. There's been some great games to watch in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
So again.
Absolutely.
On there. And again, I mean, people make fun of me. Oh, yeah, Michigan's on Fox noon again. I'm there. Well, yeah. And I always get, well, you put you at home. When you going to leave? I'm like, no. When you can have, like, essentially 50 years of 100,000 people and showing up at your home stadium, then you can get 8 home games a year.
Yeah.
When you can't even sell out against Wisconsin at home and you got half the upper deck is empty, I don't want to hear it.
I was about to say, what game looks better on television? The big house, packed to the rafters, or your half-empty ass little stadium?
Yes.
I mean, come on, let's be real about it. That's why they get all that love, because you have 120,000 people standing there.
Yes, it is we have the largest stadium in North America.
Right.
Deal with it. I don't want to hear it anymore.
It's not even that. We filled the damn thing.
Yes.
Have you ever stood in that? Well, you have.
I've been
stood
there.
In that place when the thing's rocking, man. You can feel that place, man. It's crazy.
Now, again, I wasn't there on it. I've been going to games for 45 years and everything with it. And I have one of my closest friends on there was his alumni. He was there for the Ohio State game. And he goes, dude, I've never heard that stadium that loud.
Oh, dude, it's insane.
He goes, that was.
You can feel the building moving underneath you.
And again, even watching that Ohio State game last year on TV, even watching, going, this is different.
Oh yeah.
This is not the Blue Hairs not making a feast.
Right.
This crowd was rocking. They knew there was something special was going to happen that day.
I've been at games where it feels like there's a mini earthquake happening underneath you.
Yes.
It's so crazy. It's so loud. And you could be next to somebody and just screaming into the abyss at that point. Because everybody's, and you could blow your throat out, and the person next to you could
barely hear you.
Yeah, it's like the movies where you're like screaming through the sound barrier of something else, that's like those sound waves or something. It's just so loud and so crazy. Makes your eyeballs shake. It's a wild experience when that place is rocking. So yes, when you look at it from a television standpoint, it is. If you're getting a quality game there, it's always going to get the best spot.
And as we said, like last year on there, the wind was howling, it was cold, there was snow coming down. That's college football.
Yeah,
there it is.
Yeah,
you're never going to get better atmosphere than what it was. I don't give a damn about your Iron Bowls and all that, dude. That game on there, in that weather, and how that game turned out, and the fan base and everything with it, that was probably, and even the guys on Fox said that was the best game experience they've ever had in their life.
Well, and anybody that's ever played the game, whether you're a pro athlete or a pee-wee athlete or a college athlete, if you play the game, you enjoy the weather. Like, that's part of the game. You came up playing that game in the weather, which is so funny about how the pro game is now, with everything's got a damn dome on it and everything. And that's one of the few things I like about college. Everybody talks about, the purity, the sanctity, the purity of the game. They do it for the love. Stop. Well, everybody's getting something now, so don't even give me none of that. And now it's just out in the open. So we can just do away with all that. But what I'm getting the game in more of a way that I like to see it, which is whatever weather it permits. You know what I mean? And you're in the snow, you're in the rain, and you're in whatever temperatures and sunshine and whatever. And that to me is what always kind of made part of the game. And even I watched
I'd rather go again, and I've been in all sorts of weather going to these games and everything with it, and I've been where it's been nice out and sunny and warm and hot and everything, and I've been in cold and wind and everything, and I've been in the snowstorms, and I've been in the freaking monsoon and on there. Give me the snow over monsoon every day of the week.
Yeah, yeah. Oh
Because
yeah.
when it's at 45 and rain,
Yeah.
you're miserable.
Yeah.
If it's snowing under, I'm dressed under. Guess what? I'm gonna keep dry because it's snow. It's not gonna be soaked to the bone.
Right.
I don't care. And then you got 110,000 people in there. You're so packed in there, you can't even feel the wind.
Right.
You're just people are generating so much body heat and everything with it. Okay, I'm cool.
Right. Well, and that's the difference too. Essentially, is that you just have a wet hat,
Yes.
right? Like because of the snow landing on your head, and so yeah, I don't know. I like the elements. I'd rather be in the elements, even if I play. I like playing in the elements. You know, I watched that Man in the Stadium thing, that Brady documentary, part of that, and he even talked about how he was never that fast or athletic or whatever. So when it snowed and got crappy, everybody slowed down to his speed, and so he liked it. And I kind of there's something to be said about that. If you could, if to be out in that weather and just if you're ready for it and you can
Yeah.
handle it, it makes for a totally cool experience. And yeah, you can have that advantage on the field, and then from a fan standpoint, well, like you said, you're packed in there, and yeah,
You're dressed properly.
yeah, if you're dressed properly, it's a
If
great
you're an idiot
experience.
on there that's got to go bare chested and face painting, and that's your own fault when you end
Yeah,
up with pneumonia.
yeah,
There
exactly.
are no bad temperatures. It's just bad clothing
All
choices.
right, right. So
But yeah, State won on there last week against Wisconsin. They're like, oh, see, we're on there. Like, it's
come on,
Wisconsin.
come on, State,
Wisconsin's terrible.
come on, State, stop.
Oh, I'm not, yeah, wait till yeah. So we'll see
Well,
when
look,
you play a good team.
yeah,
Because
well,
again, if you didn't win that game on there, you weren't going to a bowl game. Because
mm,
again, I don't see you winning more than 6 games.
yeah, no, you're right. Yep. Yeah, yeah. That's the thing. You can't flex if you're just trying to make a bowl game at this point.
Right.
Like, don't
Oh,
come.
they're flexing
You
already.
can't flex.
We have 2 weeks under and they're already trash talking. Like, go ahead, talk your trash. Because again, usually is when I feel worried about everything.
You'll 2 weeks to dig the hole you'll lie in.
Again, I always worry about when State doesn't trash talk and they're like, oh, we ain't got none. I'm like, crap, we're gonna lose this game.
Yeah, right.
Now they're all puffed out chest on there and they're all trash talking. Dude, you're gonna get it taken to the woodshed.
Yeah, I can't wait.
You are gonna take it. We're gonna beat you like a redheaded stepchild.
I certainly hope so.
Because again, Michigan lost last year, and guess what? That's sitting in Harbaugh's crotch.
Yeah.
Because if they didn't lose to Michigan State, I don't know if they beat Ohio State. I think that Michigan State was the perfect loss at the perfect time, and it galvanized the team on there. But this year is a different year on there because we've seen what we've won the Big Ten, we've gone to the playoffs on there. Let's make that next step. Let's win a playoff game
All right.
with it. And I see that with this Michigan. And again, I think Ohio State can win it too. I mean, I'm not saying Michigan. I think
Sure.
Michigan, Ohio State. Those might be your two most complete teams in the country right now.
Yeah. Yep. Both in the Big Ten.
Because they both play very good defense. They both can run. They both can pass. On their Ohio State has a better quarterback, I do believe, and definitely better receivers. But I'm still not sold on their defense. And I think Michigan's offensive line and running game is better.
All right.
On it. And we've got a better kicker. Plain and simple. That ain't close. I'm sorry. They. You know, the punter. Again, sorry you didn't play last week.
Yeah.
Or we didn't need you.
Yeah.
We had 563 yards off.
Yeah, that's all right. That's not a bad problem to have.
And nothing made me happier because James Franklin was bitching and whining all week now about. It's like, shut up. Again, it's all about James Franklin.
Yeah.
It's all about me. Even you watch them when they storm on the field. No, you can't get. I'm the first one out there to go. I lead. Then you're all behind me. It's me first. Me, 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 me. Great. You signed him for a 10-year, $75 million deal. Good luck on that one because you ain't getting your money's worth out of it. And then they start shitting and going in the tunnel because they're trash talking, and then they start throwing their crustables. Really, you can't even make your own. You have to buy the Smucker's crustables. You couldn't have some.
They can't have crust on their sandwiches. They're like.
That's the best part of a damn PB&J is the crust on there.
They're little 6-year-old boys. They
God,
can't. That's kindergarten lunch. You can't have your
Great.
crust
Well,
on
you
your
know what? We'll
sandwich.
send them some orange slices now. You know what? And I joked about doing.
They're taking nappy time. You give
Well,
them some warm
you know
milk.
what? They can have a. You know what?
Warm milk and nappy time.
They can get their. They can get a sponsor for their uniform on there. It's called. It's Sunkiss because they have their orange slices. Their participation trophy.
They can have an Infamil for their. They're a bunch of babies.
Babies.
They're babies and it's nappy time.
Good. Nothing. I mean, it's like. I hate Ryan Day. I hate James Franklin. I don't hate Mel Tucker. I hate Franklin and I hate Ryan Day.
All right.
Ryan Day's got one of those faces you just want to punch.
Yeah, I want to punch. I want to punch.
God, he's such a smug
yeah.
looking. I just want to, and he got that. It looks like dyed beard. Just want to go pop.
Yes. I said stop it.
Stop. Oh, but we had a lot of fun on that. And again, we'll see what happens on there. The next week we'll get into the Michigan State game on there.
Yep.
We do have a time on there. It's a 7:30 start. Oof. Over under brawls in the parking lot.
Oh gosh, yeah, because
we'll talk
the
about
tailgate
that.
will be 12 hours deep.
Yes.
Oh man.
They'll be out there at 7 a.m. tailgating until they have to go to the stadium at 7. So on there. We still got a lot of NFL action going on there. We'll get into some predictions there for what we got. Who's gonna win our NHL and NBA. Kind of our as the season begins, we'll try to get our
little
Scrappy and Moosadamas picks on there. On the flip side, of course, we'll have Moose's fantasy moment and pickups. We'll try to do better than we did last week.
Oh my God, brutal last week.
Worst case is I was a little bit above 500. He was 500. So again, we haven't been terrible yet.
Yet.
So we'll be back in just a few. On the flip side, we are DSR2 Studio 57 Radio. You qualify for the Camp Lejeune one. No, I don't, because I wasn't in the fucking Marine Corps. God. I got a question on there. Why is it every fucking Z-grade celebrity has been, never was, wannabe fucking celebrity all are basically chilling for Trump?
Well, you got to get in the fucking limelight somehow.
I mean, you get like Kevin Sorbo and Scott Baio and that idiot John Rich from whatever Rich and whatever kid over on there. And you get these Z-grade. I mean,
they fit good together, right? Because Republicans are so fucking lost in their fucking. They're so behind the times. They think Scott Baio is still relevant.
Yes.
And then Scott Baio, has something to do.
Yes.
Because if he didn't do that, he'd probably be cleaning pools somewhere.
Well, you know what? He should be making my fucking turkey club at fucking Subway that I fucking ordered online.
It's not even fucking I don't even want to fucking touch my turkey sub. Fuck that guy.
Him and Kevin Sorbo will be like on there. I'm like, dude, I'm waiting on my fucking turkey sub. Why aren't you making my turkey sub, motherfucker? How bad do you gotta be when you got fucking totally eclipsed by Lucy Lawless, Lucy Lawless, she's not a Trumper. She's done something in the last decade. push, 60. She's still on the back. She's cool. So about Proposition 3. You gonna vote for that? I'm like, yes, I am voting for it. Mm-hmm. There's about stuff about kids that are getting surgery and the trans. I'm like, and so first of all, and he goes, "Oh, you gonna support your daughter?" Yeah, I would because I love my children. I love them unconditionally. And if that's what they feel that's what's right, and they're not happy being a girl, they feel better, and then fine, I'm okay with it. Because those are my kids, and I want them to be happy.
I didn't say anything like that.
Yeah, I know.
They're making shit up. So
I said, go ahead on it. But he was trying to trap me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. I go, and first of all, it's none of your fucking business.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I'm going to quote Barry Goldwater. If you know what? It's none of your fucking business. If my sister wants to have an abortion, then so be it. It's not your business. It's not my business. It's no one. It's not the fucking Pope's business. Mind your own fucking business.
Nope.
And it's like, oh yeah, all the Democrats, oh yeah, a bunch of pedophiles. And of course I would post on there, yeah, guess not, because there's another Republican candidate running for state senate in Arizona got busted yesterday, basically across the street in a parked across the street from a fucking elementary school with his pants down around his knees, jerking off. But yeah, it's the Democrats. Why is it always a Republican that's caught with jerking off across the street from an elementary school? Awesome. Now that makes
You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets.
Studio 57 is a 32-track digital recording studio that utilizes Cool Edit, Logic Pro, Shure, AKG, Sennheiser, Yamaha, Korg, Mackie, Boss, Ibanez, Fender, Fruity Loops, and many, many more to make your music pop. Experienced and friendly engineers make Studio 57 feel like you're home away from home. With beat creation, mixing, mastering, digital media conversion, and DJs for any event, Studio 57 Records is your one-stop shop for all your music entertainment needs. We have online bill pay and flexible payment schedules. That makes Studio 57 the place to be. For more information, visit Studio57records.com. That's www.studio57records.com or call us at 586-420-3390. That's 586-420-3390 or log on to Studio57records.com. And just remember one thing, baby.
You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Yo, yo, yo. All right. There we go. You guys said we sound a little off into the background a little bit, so we got that taken care of, I hope, for you. And we should be good to roll forward here with the second hour. Holy cow. We talked MLB, NCAA football. We had some fun with it. We clowned around. And we will carry on forward and do some more. I hope you guys are ready. The text line will be open for you, so you can get in here in hour 2. And you can make fun of us and do whatever you want to do. We're open for all that. And, yeah, we need a beating from the beating we took in Pick'em. So we got that again later. And Moose's fantasy moment, all that stuff. So let's get this thing rolling. So without further ado, let's do hour 2 of DSR2. I am Scrappy, and here is your host, Johnny the Moose.
Hey, we're back here for the second hour of DSR2 on there. In case you missed it, we talked a lot about MLB playoffs action going on there. I definitely a ton of college football on there as well. On there, and we also talked a little bit about at least what was going on tonight in MLB, and at least locally our Pistons winning. What they're doing right now. Updates on MLB playoffs. Padres have tied it up 1-1, 8-5 over the Phillies, and we are in middle of the fourth inning. Yankees Astros 1-1. 4 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts by Verlander. And our Pistons are up 97-93 in the home opener on that. Good news is everybody's actually having a pretty good start here. Jaden Ivey's got 16 points on there. Kate Cunningham has got 16. How many assists do they have? 8 assists for Cade, 4 for Ivy. Bogdanovich is leading all score, or at least all the scores for the Pistons with 22.
Well, and it's one of those things that, I would expect if they're going to make any kind of progress, they're going to.
Yeah, they definitely are.
They need to beat up Orlando here.
Orlando, they do have a couple. They got, Ben Chero's actually off to a good start. He's got 21 points for Orlando, and Jalen Suggs also with 21. So, yeah. On there, and again, we missed down there as Lakers lost again for the 5th straight time in home opener on there since since LeBron has joined them.
LeBron is not. I don't want to sit here and say he's the most overrated player ever, because he's not. Because he is obviously his stats and his longevity and his championships and all that stuff. Excuse me. Oh, I should have hit my mic. Sorry about that. They speak for themselves, but talk about a guy that he just feels like a dude that's going to linger, right? Does he not feel like he's just going to be a hanger-oner, like a lingerer?
Yes.
Not that he still can't play, but he still feels like he wants to be the alpha, and that's kind of long gone, in my opinion. And we're seeing that decline. So I'm just kind of curious of what the transition for LeBron will be going forward, because he's okay. When he played on a bad team before, he was good enough to put him on his back and carry him.
Right.
He can't do that now.
No.
So how is he going to handle all of that? And that's going to be the drama that is going to be the Lakers all season long, because they're not going to be a contender.
No, they probably won't even make the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. So that's going to be what you get. And is LeBron ready for all that? My whole thing is, it kind of goes to the Russell Wilson thing. Like, I don't want to hear from LeBron every day all season long when they're completely 100% irrelevant.
No.
And so, you know, and so that's going to be the nauseating part. And that's where LeBron suffers the most, and it's not even of his own doing, because they're going to shove him down our throats even when they're bad.
Yeah.
And people are going to be sick of it. And that's the biggest taint on LeBron, I think, when it comes to fans and all this. Now, this whole nonsense about him even being in the conversation for the GOAT is insane to me. So I'm not even going to entertain that, because to me, you're not even on the Mount Rushmore, let alone GOAT. So when I look at LeBron, like, I like LeBron, but I can find 3 other guys better than him.
Yes.
4 other guys better than him throughout league history. And so he doesn't make my Mount Rushmore. So let alone being the GOAT. So that there's nothing wrong with being the 5th best player in the history of any sport. You know what I'm saying? So let's not get it twisted. And,
right.
And he's the greatest. He's probably the greatest all-around player of his generation.
Yes. Again, I'm not going to
say
he's the most physically gifted basketball player probably of all time.
Yes. When it comes to, his physical, God-gifted ability, like, you know, like, nobody else on this planet has ever been gifted that kind of body and athleticism at the same time.
No.
You know, now, did he, I don't know, he took advantage of that. That's good. And he puts a lot of money into his body, which he should. But, like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you may pass. You're probably going to pass Kareem as the all-time
I think it's
scorer
more.
leader.
I think it's more impressive to watch Larry Bird, who looked like he drove a fucking pizza truck the day before and came out, and now he's playing basketball and he's putting a 40 burger and telling you not only when, how, and where,
but he does it.
But then he does.
He does exactly what he tells you to do.
Yeah.
I mean, again, there is LeBron on there because again, LeBron can't trash talk like Bird or Jordan or any of these guys.
Well, no, and then
I mean,
the
Bird
entertainment value isn't there.
I mean,
as
the
well,
entertainment.
yes.
As we always say, he looks like he drives a semi on the rural
for sure.
Indiana. But then you get Bird on there. It's just like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to go here on it, and it's even his teammates when he came up there. But Bird it's like, dude, who the hell's this skinny white kid from Indiana on there? Yep. You know, and that was Cedric Maxwell, and he gets out there and they're just playing pickup. And he goes, "That boy's a bad man."
Right.
That boy's a bad man. Man, that boy can play some ball.
Right.
I mean, because again, remember, Bird didn't have the 3-point line. They used that. If Bird was today's man, he'd be shooting threes. Because you remember who is the best shooter and doing the threes. Bird would win it every damn year.
Right. Yeah.
Now, if they shot it and they shot like that on there, now with that on there, it's like, dude.
And so I laugh about, it's so funny because cats will be like, oh, you wouldn't, this player X wouldn't never last in this in genre or era B or whatever, you know what I mean? I just kind of laugh, and it's like, you're talking about some of the greatest athletes in the world wouldn't compensate for the way the game's played now.
You don't think they can adjust with the...
You don't think they can adjust? They do it now in real time. Watch the NFL, how quickly, and we'll get into the conversation with the changes and the rules and how they officiate shit and all this other stuff here in a minute. But you've seen how that is over time, and these athletes adjust.
Yes.
I mean, we were thinking that we were going to have all these blowouts and these big shootouts and these 50-burger games, and that lasted, 2 weeks?
Not even.
And now
we get these crazy upsets.
Now we're watching games that are 17-19 and shit. So, why is that? Because the defenses are adjusting. Even though all the rules are slanted towards the offense, the defense is still adjusting.
They make the adjustments to it. It takes a year or two to get caught up.
But they always make the adjustments.
Again,
so don't tell me that these athletes
and
can't
offenses
make the
will
adjustment.
switch around on there. Right. We talked about that in college with what Michigan does. And everything.
So don't tell me that, Larry Bird or Michael Jordan or whatever wouldn't last in this era or vice versa, because they're premier athletes, and they'd
Yes.
make the effing adjustments
Right.
necessary to play the game in whatever era they were playing it in.
Yeah, Bird and Jordan would still be Bird and Jordan today on there because they still have
Right.
that. They got that mentality. They'll step on your throat. And choke
Yeah,
you
I mean,
out.
the way they deliver the death to you may be different, but the death will still be the
good.
same.
It may just be a little prettier.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not gonna be like I'm gonna step on your throat.
It'll still
Now
be
it's gonna
death all the same.
I'll be standing far away, and it's like a sniper rifle taking a shot on there. On there. So we got the basically is with them basically basketball going on there.
Well, it's so fun right now because it's so fresh and early, but you got to see the goal.
Do you think the Warriors repeat?
Well, right now they look like a 70-win team, but you know they played the Lakers.
I'm gonna say yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think the West is going to be pretty decent in there. I think the Warriors still are the best team out of the Western Conference on there.
I agree.
With Lakers, I do not see them on there. And there's rumors the old Lakers are going to trade.
It's the Clips now. It's the Clips and the Warriors over there in the West right now.
You might
going this
see
year.
on there. I think the Clips. Yeah, if the Clips stay healthy, they can make a run on there. The Warriors. It might be Timberwolves. Finally, I mean, we saw what they did last year. I think Memphis is going to be a good team too.
Well,
The Mavericks.
right, I was about to say
If Luka can get more help from on there.
Well, this is the key with Luka is can he continue to do what he did and then elevate his team, right? Like his play was good, but he struggled to kind of elevate the team to that next level a little bit without I mean they had that run, a streak, but it feels like he looks like he's leaned out and ready to go. So, So if he comes in shape and he comes in ready to go and he can kind of uplift that team a little bit and maybe carry them and drag in, and you know, this could be his MVP season. He has an MVP type season, then yes, you're having then that's a team you have to deal with in the West.
You're going to have that. And then again, with John Moran, if he's healthy, would he stays healthy this year, what he can do on there. I mean,
that's what we have yet to see because he is a young guy. How do they adjust to
and he's
defending
slender
against
built.
him?
I mean,
Yeah,
he's only
and then how durable will he be? But see, the game is built for that. I mean, look at Curry.
especially today's now.
Yeah, look at Curry and some of these other guys. They're not Adonises by any stretch of the imagination. They're just cardio machines.
Yes.
And you can be a cardio machine. And if you even when you look back to the quote unquote, bad boy or rougher era, you still had those guys out there that ran around and they weren't necessarily known for being, like a hard ass. They just, had that shot and had that energy and could, out get you with that cardio. So, yeah, you're going to have those guys out there regardless. The motor guys, as they say.
And then we'll see what our Pistons can do on there. Can they make the playoffs or at least get close to at least a 500? I think they might get closer to 500. I don't know if they'll make the playoffs because I think the East is loaded.
Do you get into the
play-in?
The play-in at 45 games?
I think they at least get mentioned. I think if they get to 45 wins, they may get into the play-in.
That's what I'm wondering.
But again, I
think they're right around that. They hover around that 40-win area.
And I think they get at least that graphic, come February and March. Oh, playing for the play-in on there. And I think you're going to see them as one of the teams, depending on how they come along on there with it.
I know Pistons fans are like, I don't want to hear this, man. Like, we've been doing this patient, trust the process stuff. This is not going to be a Philadelphia 76ers type situation, but your turnover is next year.
Yes.
Next year, you should.
Well, we'll have money for the cap on there to go after some free agent wise on there. And again, we're not again. I know there's this rumor that the Lakers want Kemba Walker.
Why would we help the Lakers?
And they'll give us Russell. I'm like, why would I want Westbrook? What are you paying for Westbrook too?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, no.
Right.
Great. We'll bring him in and we'll just basically send him to somewhere else or cut him. And good, you're paying for him.
Yeah.
Because
no.
We're in unison.
No.
Again, jinx.
Yeah, there's no way.
With that, so Yeah, I think this team's at least going to be a fun team to watch and everything with it.
Yeah, there's going to be some entertaining aspects about their game and all that, but if you're going in, and that's what you should be doing. If you want to go to the games, guys, and you want to catch some of the games on TV or the radio or whatever, however you ingest your Pistons basketball, don't be afraid, but don't get too emotionally invested because it's going to be a rough year still yet. But if like you said, if they can pull that, if they can make that jump from a 40, because we're putting them in that 40 win-ish area. If they can scrape up to that 45 and get into the play-in, that would be that would be a bonus. That'd be nice for Pistons fans, I think. But it's hard to be patient.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, we're looking on there. There was it just 2.5 minutes left in the fourth. Pistons are up by 7. Yeah, I mean, Ivy is. I like the fact that they're going to have him going on there. Bogdanovich, I like that trade for Bogdanovich. I thought that was he's going to be here 1 year, but he's a nice locker room guy, good veteran that guide you, and he could still play. Duran, I mean, dude's 18 years old. He's still 18 years old.
That's insane.
6'11", 250.
I know.
I mean, he's got 11 boards and 14 points in his first game.
That's crazy talk.
He's 18, and he's a monster. 6'11", 250, a monster.
A beast.
So, yeah, I think this is going to be fun to watch with the Pistons and everything with it. I definitely like that. So, on there, I think it's probably going to be... I think it's going to be Milwaukee and the Warriors in the finals.
Yeah, more than likely. I mean, if you're looking at it right now, it's just all really...
And hopefully
it just depends what happens with some of these teams. Harden looks leaner. Luka looks leaner.
And we'll get that on there.
And what kind of injuries are we going to have over the course of the season?
We get through this year. Maybe Casey moves up the up ladder and Boston loses their mind and they fire their coach who's suspended. And we snag him and get it, and then we're all good.
Boston, how you that still messes me up. So, yeah, I'm kind of with you. I think Milwaukee. Yeah, you're right. I think it's going to be Milwaukee and Golden State in the end. But it just seems too easy, right? We talk about this all the time with the NFL moves. It just feels like when it's like, oh, yeah, sure, yeah, you're right. That's it. What else could it be?
No, there could be injuries happen and guys play on it right.
So barring any injuries, anything crazy happening,
I just know who's not going to make it. It's not going to be the Lakers, and it probably won't be Brooklyn.
Well, the whole thing with Brooklyn is, and this is the crazy thing.
They don't like each other.
The whole crazy thing about basketball is you don't necessarily have to like each other to play well. And if these guys, all of a sudden catch fire, you're talking about Kyrie, who went out and tested the waters and went, oops. I'm sorry, I'll come back now. I didn't mean it.
Yeah.
And so you kind of have the same thing even with, so they're all going to be there. And now they have incentive to kind of make it work because there's nowhere for them to go. And so you just never know what could happen with Brooklyn. Same thing with Philly because you just don't know. But I do know the Greek Freak.
Yeah,
and he's been the most consistent guy in the conference for 5 years now.
Right, and if they're all healthy in that, and if they can stay healthy, I think Milwaukee's got the best talent in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I'm with you. So I don't know. It's like when you look at it in common sense wise, it seems so obvious, but I know that when the season rolls on, it won't be.
No.
So yeah, I'm gonna put Golden State. It's really hard to repeat, man. Maybe just Milwaukee get 2 in 3 years, though.
That could be, too.
That's hard.
I didn't say who's going to win it all. I just said who's getting there.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to think, though. But if you're going to break it down like that, I'm like, that compelling, good stories. The one thing is that could be fun.
The Warriors have repeated in the past, so they've been there. So, again, I think would I be, as a basketball fan, be happy with the Warriors-Bucks matchup? Fuck yeah.
Oh, you're going to get good basketball.
God, you're going to get great basketball.
So that's kind of my whole thing. It's like, look, it's easy for us to say, being Pistons fans, because we know we're not in contention right now. But some of these teams that are fringe contenders don't want to hear that. But it's like, it's my team's got a chance, whatever. I wouldn't want to see that. I think my team would be better in there. But the bottom line is I want good basketball, compelling stories. I want to see records. I want to see dynasties. I want to see greatness. I want to see all that. I want to see that stuff get blown up too when the time's right.
Right.
And so, but those things can't get blown up if they don't happen. Right. So like you can't knock off the evil empire if there's never an evil empire. Right? Like the Yankees, right? Like you could never knock them off if they didn't become what they were.
Right. If they weren't the evil Yankees.
So you can't. So like even if you're not a Golden State fan, you're sick of seeing them win. Well, I want to see the dynasty. I want to see, oh man, they made all these crazy records. And then I want to see someone come in and say, oh, yeah, well, I'm going to snatch all that from you right here, right now.
Right.
And knock them off their pedestal, because that's another great thing to see. When someone can rise to the next level of greatness or whatever. So I'm here for all of it, but you know me, I'm all about the story and the drama and the fun, and I think you can get it with that series. Now, hey, that all being said, to see like Dallas and Philly in it, I don't know, it'd be weird, but. Not saying it wouldn't be fun, compelling.
I think it could be compelling.
You know what I mean?
And everything with it. So yeah, we got to get into a little NFL action under. So last week under we had some interesting upsets. Again, a couple really good games, and then we had Monday night and Thursday night's game.
Ugh.
The Commanders beat the Bears on there. Not that we're saying the Commanders are great. They're not. They're terrible. Just the Bears are even worse.
Yeah, the only thing worse than the Bears and the Commanders playing each other is
over under Bears dumping or trying to trade Justin Fields. Because again, he's not. They have nothing there. They have no.
What are they going to do though? What's the point? You're going to drop him. You're going to dump him. You're going to do what? Like,
great, you dump him. If I'm the Lions, I'm going after Fields, and it saves us draft picks.
Well,
I think he can be a really good quarterback. Problem is, he got drafted by the worst possible team to draft a quarterback, and went the Bears because they never develop a quarterback.
I get that, and I just don't know that he's going to be a great quarterback.
I said a good quarterback. I never said great.
Well, so. I don't even know that he could be a good quarterback because, quite frankly, there's not a lot. Like, okay, define good. Anybody that makes a squad is a good quarterback. Let's be real.
I think if he's on the right team under, they can be a perennial playoff team under. I do believe he's got a skill set and everything with it. Problem is being with the Bears, he has no weapons to throw to. He has no weapons, period.
Well, yeah, but it's the same thing with a lot of situations. Okay, so he's got some receivers, but if he doesn't have the time, what's it matter?
He doesn't have offensive line or the time. Or he doesn't have receivers. He doesn't have a running game. He has nothing.
All right.
I mean, look, last week he didn't have. He passed for just over 50%.
So they're gonna cut bait on a quarterback that has nothing. That has nothing. They don't have anything else. And they can't get anything for the quarterback, so then they can't solve any of the problems. So how does this miraculous upheaval happen?
I'm just calling fantasy realm there and with it.
Yeah.
Do I think it's going to happen? No. It's just the Bears are a debacle. They might be the worst franchise in the NFL right now.
No, they're not. The Commanders are.
Yes, the Commanders are terrible. Now they're going to be without Wentz. Well, actually, it might be a bonus because they're going to be without Wentz for a couple weeks because he's had a broken finger and everything with it.
And then the Texans just got rid of their evangelicals fucking
you know what?
nutbag.
That was the best move of the damn season right there for Houston.
Well, yeah, they finally watched. They finally got rid of their QAnon leader or whatever the hell he was.
And I think again, do I think Mims is great at Houston and everything? No, but he had almost 4,000 yards last year. I think he's a serviceable quarterback. I think he's actually a little probably better than what most people say. But they've got a really good running game. I think Damian Pierce is one of the top 2 rookie running backs this year. Brandon Cooks is always going to get you that 1,000+ yard receiving. 8 touchdowns under. You got a nice one with Nico. They're a little better off, and now they got rid of the nutbag under. I think the team's going to be a little better off and everything.
Well, they'll be better off for sure in some way.
Long term on there, and again they suckered Cleveland all those first rounds. So if you've got at least a respectable or just a decent general manager, you'll be okay on it. 49ers losing to the Falcons. What the hell was that all about? That's
how
the Falcons are 3-3 is beyond me.
I don't know. I don't even know
Arthur
if they know
Smith should be coach of the year now.
Oh, well, there's a lot of candidates because there's a lot of teams. I don't know how
Brian
the hell they
Debo with on air with the Giants. They're They're
5-1.
5-1. They beat the Ravens.
5-1. Well, the Ravens can't hold a lead if you give them 24-point
they're
spot.
Terrible.
They're great except for in the second half.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you blow 17-point leads like it's going out of style? Like it's like what they do. It's like, they're up. They're up by 17. Yeah, okay, hold my beer.
Yes.
I mean, because it's crazy. I don't know what it is with that. And really, Harbaugh's just got to figure out one little thing, and then they're flipping 5-1.
Yes.
Right, because they hold on to these leads. They're 5-1. So. I don't know. It's crazy. It's a crazy NFL right now.
Packers 3-3. I mean, and they're not even a good 3-3.
Well, they got nothing going right now. Like, what's up with their offensive line?
Offensive line. There was supposed to be one of the better offensive line. Remember, preseason they were ranked ahead of the Lions for offensive line.
They were supposed to. They're supposed
and
to.
And supposed to be a good defense. They got shellacked by the frickin' Jets.
Hey, well,
actually, my team, the Jets.
Yeah, you're riding the Jets now.
Well, I did pick. I should have picked them 3 weeks in a row, but I didn't. I said, no, they ain't gonna win 3 in a row. They just. I mean, there's a team on there that is playing above their heads,
right?
But they're playing all phases of the game are starting to come together.
Well, do you have another Coach of the Year candidate over there?
Salah.
I mean, come on.
Who we probably should have hired.
Well, that was didn't he get interviewed here?
Yes, he's from here.
Right.
I mean, Zach Wilson didn't lay
but
it up.
See, this is it. This is it. This is what's going to happen. The Jets are going to be a playoff team, and the Lions are going to win 4 games, chewing on kneecaps, because that's what happens when you're on your fucking back.
Yes.
And so this is so Lion-esque. They had the guy from the hood in the building, and he went somewhere else.
They let him walk on.
And this guy came in here, and he's biting ankles and chewing on kneecaps because he's on his backside. And that's the way we play.
Yep.
It's unbelievable. This is so Lion-esque. This is exactly what I told y'all. You guys drink the Kool-Aid every year. We do this every year.
Last year I didn't buy into it. I said no. This year I'm like kind of.
The Hard Knocks did it to you. See,
I know,
so influenced by the media that Hard Knocks, all the camera tricks and the glamour and glitz and the camera tricks, man, they're all full of shit.
Yes, I thought higher of Aaron Glenn than what we're getting out of him. That's the kicker. I thought we all knew the offense was going to be okay. We all saw it. We're like, yeah, they're going to be all right, but the defense under, we'll see what happens. And they're terrible. We got that. Patriots take care of the Browns. Freaking, if you're the Browns and you got lit up by Billy Zappi.
Billy Zappi is going to be the new Tom Brady. He's going to take over in town.
Yeah, they told Mac Jones, just go sit the bench.
Yeah,
we're starting to fourth.
Stop being.
Oh, and again.
Well, Mac Jones.
Only New England can get a 4th rounder and say 100.
Well, and you know what it is? Mac Jones is a why. He's one of those. He's like the 3-year-old that goes, why? And then you tell him and they go, but why? But why? But why? And that's why his ass, they're in no hurry to put him back in there right now.
Oh.
And Zappi's getting it done with what? Who's the coordinator there again? The offensive coordinator, the OC?
The offensive coordinator is Joe Judge. From,
Joe Judge, thank you.
But who's calling the plays is Patricia.
Right.
But again, on there, but you looked on there, and again, they have really no receivers. And he goes off for 309 yards.
They got that guy running. They got Zappy zapping.
Zappy, he was 20 on. And I liked him at Western Kentucky last year. I thought, okay, you know what? If you need a backup and he's sitting there in the 4th round,
You know what?
I take a rider on him.
I'm not even going to say I knew who the fuck a Zappy was.
I knew who Billy Zappi was.
I didn't. I still don't know what a Zappy is.
I told to get on there and on there. I knew who he was. I thought, okay, he could be a good backup. I didn't think he'd be doing this on there with that. Colts finally get a win on there. They get a win over the Jaguars. Again, Jaguars. That was actually a pretty good game to watch.
Yeah.
Because it was back and forth with it on there. So that was actually a decent game to watch on there.
And you know where those teams have kind of come from and where they're headed. Yeah. It's like, okay, you got a pretty good game out of it.
Vikings take care of the Dolphins on there.
Dolphins, that's another.
And again, too, is people on there, and they're all bitching on there. Vikings, well, you know, and of course the Vikings are sitting there. They said on that field on Sunday, because they were in Miami, there was a 30-degree difference between the Viking bench and the Dolphin bench.
That's so evil.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Again, if I'm, you know what, on there, you need to put a damn shade over
put something
everything
over
on there because how this on there with on my, it's not different. Oh yeah, you're in Tennessee and you're in Nashville. That's not too bad. You're in Miami. 30-degree difference.
30-degree difference. That's significant, man.
That's very.
That's bullshit. I mean, think about it. A 30-degree difference. If it's 70 over here, it's 40 over there.
Right.
40.
It's 80 over here. It's 110.
I mean, come on. Like, I could do 80, but 110? Come on.
And now Tua coming out. He was unconscious when he got knocked against Cincinnati. He was unconscious till he got to the under. Dude, if I'm Tua, I'm like, you're cleared. Bullshit. I want another opinion.
Well, and here we go again with the I told you so nonsense, Moose. I've had plenty of experience with the concussion scenario. And I said it a couple of weeks ago when it all went down. He needs to worry about his career.
Yes.
Not just coming back and playing now. Like, this is a career and or life threatening or shortening type scenario here. And that's the bigger picture. And that's what I was talking about then. And everybody's like, oh, concussion protocol and this and that and the doctors. And we talked about that as well. But this is the first thing that came out of my mouth when I saw this situation. And, we talked about it. And I'm telling you what, concussions ain't nothing to play with. And you know what? Over time you can recover and get back to certain things. But I don't know that football is necessarily conducive to getting better, right? Like, no matter how good your helmet is, no matter what kind of rules they put in there, there's always going to be a chance that you're going to get scrambled again.
Right.
And the more often, the more severe that you've been hit, the worse and the easier it becomes going forward. And so, like, he really does need to make sure he gets his second and third opinion, make sure he feels really good and confident with what they're doing, because he takes a hit like that. I mean, dude, when you go into the fencing position, when you're that fucking out like that and you go that rigid, they call it the fencing position, that's a neurological brain damage situation there.
Yes.
And so you can't continue to have those kinds of things and have any kind of longevity. It's it's the reason why, certain athletes, boxers, could be at the top of the list, have, PTSD and Alzheimer's and all these other things so prematurely when it comes to, the CTE and all that stuff. They have it prematurely because of this stuff. So,
yeah. So we got that. Bengals took care of the Saints on there. Bengals look like they're rolling again after a rough start. They're 3-3.
Well, and isn't that kind of how they rolled a little bit last year, right? Like, they kind of had to get their feet under them, it felt like. And then Burrow kind of stopped pressing and started to relax. And they kind of found themselves a little bit, and they made a run at the end of the year. Isn't that what it felt they did last year?
Yeah.
You know, so
like
this feels like they're kind of doing the same kind of thing. And it falls right in line with what we talk about. You know, they got less preseason, less OTAs, less all this, that, and the other. And when you have a team that hasn't been as long in the league as long or together as long or a combination of both.
Especially him being out with the appendix surgery and everything with
it takes a little bit of time
to get back into it. Yep. Buccaneers lose to the Steelers. Tom Brady loses his mind. Screaming
well, you lost to the flipping Steelers, so I understand why he's losing
Maybe
his mind.
You shouldn't have went to your ex-boss's wedding the night before or something.
Look. Would Tom Brady of today be mad? Would Tom Brady of yesterday be mad at Tom Brady of today for what he did? Would Tom Brady be mad at Tom Brady?
Yes.
Then what the fuck is he doing? Second, let's not pretend like he went to Robert Kraft's wedding. Nobody knew it was a wedding.
Right.
It was just a party.
Still, why are you taking off practice time to go to a party?
Even worse. If you know it's a wedding, okay. But you don't know that it's a wedding because nobody knew it was a wedding.
First of all, why is Robert Kraft getting married during the season? Dude, you're a football owner. You're a serious football owner. Why are you we're going to get married here? You got the whole off season.
Dude, the reason why he's successful is because he's hands off.
Well, that's true, but
he delegates well. He hires the right people. So he knew. So when Belichick says, I can't make it, it's football season, he said, no problem. Don't worry about it. But Tommy Boy shows up.
Right.
You dig?
Yeah.
And I think Kraft would have forgiven him if he didn't show. He would have understood what he had to do. So now.
Because, Belichick said, no, I ain't going.
Right. So you cannot now make that decision knowing, we all know that Brady would have yelled at a Brady had that happen, and then turn around and yell at your teammates for underperforming when you did what? You did what?
You skipped 2 practices to go to a party.
But what did you do game day?
Nothing.
Don't tell me you did something and you're yelling at somebody else. Yeah. It's not like, oh, I missed a day and still came out and threw for 500 yards and 3 touchdowns and you guys blew the game.
No.
That's not what happened. So,
yeah, you couldn't light up the Steelers.
So,
you were terrible.
Yeah. From game plan to execution to everything. Nothing went. If you lose to the Steelers right now, you didn't have nothing going. At least if you lose to the Lions, with the exception of those shutout game, Lions have been putting up points. So at least if you lose to them, it's like, okay, you had a bad offensive week and you lost, okay.
But Steelers weren't doing that.
Steelers weren't even doing that.
No.
They had no defensive identity. They have no offensive game whatsoever.
Nope.
And
they won that one on there.
And
but
they still
Rams took care of the Panthers on there. If you're ever going to basically need a team to rate yourself, play the Panthers. Seahawks take care of the Cardinals. Over under who gets out of Arizona first, Kyler Murray or Cliff Kingsbury?
Ooh.
It all depends on what Murray does because, Medal of Honor 3, or Modern Warfare 2 is supposed to be out this week.
Jesus.
He ain't going to be reading the playbook.
No, you'd be playing video games.
I know. We had the Eagles beat up on the Cowboys on there. Thus ends the Cooper Rush era, who again didn't do too bad holding down the fort. And then we're not even talking about that Monday night game because it's not even worth mentioning.
No.
But as we said, it's the Bills-Chiefs game. Had everything we wanted.
Yes.
Had everything I wanted, even though it was only a 24-20 game. It was a great game to watch. You had offense, you had defense, you had everything. You had, again, special teams. Buckler hitting a 62-yarder as time expired in the first half. And again, you look on there what Buffalo did in the second half defense-wise, kind of kept everything. Yeah, I mean, Buffalo gets that touchdown, takes the lead, and there's a minute left, and they just kept and Von Miller puts pressure on it, causes Mahomes to throw an interception. That was a great game to watch. It was one of those games you go, damn, I'm happy I'm watching this game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dinner's ready. That's great. Serve me here. I'm eating in the living room while I'm watching football.
Speaking of which, we got pick'ems, but beforehand, are you ready?
Let's
get it.
Will be ready here.
Because we're running.
Yes.
We're running out of time.
I'll tell you, man, it was crazy this week. Crazy. So everybody here, you got fantasy football on there, and you got buys coming in, injuries coming in there. You're going, what the hell am I going to do this week? On there, don't worry, Uncle Moosey can help you out a little bit on there. Who to pick up for the bye weeks, who to pick up for injury-wise, because again, everything with that. If you're looking for definitely for quarterback-wise, it's kind of picking slim and everything. You got to look by the matchup on there. I like Ryan Tannehill, picking him up on there. He's available in a lot of leagues on there for the bye for Tennessee. And again, I'm going to say is Billy Zappi. Why? Because the New England's playing the Bears, and well, the Bears are terrible on that. So definitely pick up them. If you're running back wise on there, not as open on there. Kenyon Drake for Baltimore. Looks like till Dobbins gets back fully on it. Looks like Lamont Murray is going to be playing a little bit more with Denver. Why? I don't know, but he's available. And Hilliard for Tennessee there as a backup or change of pace guy there. Receiver wise, you got a little bit more. You got Alec Pierce for Indianapolis. Looks like he's going to be your number 2 receiver there. I like that wise. Tyler Boyd definitely with Cincinnati. And Nico Collins for Houston to get on there. And definitely like Josh Palmer for the Chiefs or the Chargers. Sorry about that. Tight end wise, Gesicki, Henry. I would say is Daniel Bellinger with the Giants. I like those 3 this week. And again, if you need a kicker, don't even talk to me. Defense wise, Dolphins because they're playing Pittsburgh. That's the only reason. Jets, why? Because they're playing Denver. And Giants because they're playing Jacksonville. Actually, the Giants defense is not a bad one to pick up. I definitely would pick them up and probably just at least hang on to them on there. I definitely like them long term. So there we go with the fantasy moment.
Yes. Now it is all about the pick'ems, and I'm getting killed on. Turn my mic back on here. It's all about the pick'ems. Good fantasy moment there, Moose. But I'm getting killed with some of the copyright things, so we're going to change up our music a little bit. So hopefully people don't get mad at us. But here we go.
So we got lots. We got four. Was it 4 teams in the bye again? So we've only got 14 games this week on there. And it's weird is if you look on there is a lot of road dogs on there, and I don't know if I feel really comfortable of picking any of them as favorites, but we'll get into that as well here in just a second. So,
there's gonna be some. We gotta do better than we did last week.
Yes, we will do better on this. So we get Thursday night game on there. Still another stinker. If I'm Amazon, I want my money back. We got New Orleans on the road against Arizona. New Orleans is a 1.5 point or 1.5 point dog on the road. And as I said, his Modern Warfare 2 came out this week on here. So I don't know if I want to take Kyler Murray. You know what? I'm going to take Arizona. I'm going to take New Orleans as a road dog.
Yeah, I'm a same. I was about to say, you're taking Zona. Hey, no, I can't. I don't have any faith in anything that's going on. At least the Saints, I kind of think that maybe they'll do some tricky, goofy stuff and a couple of plays here or there.
Yeah, because they lost Hollywood Henderson probably for the year. They just traded for Robbie Anderson. Ugh. But DeAndre Hopkins is supposed to be back off suspension this week, but it's going to probably take him a couple weeks under. But I like New Orleans this week. I just do.
Yeah.
All right, we got 1 o'clock game on Sunday. We got Atlanta on the road against Cincinnati. Cincinnati is a 6.5 point favorite, and I would say is yes.
Yes.
Give me Cincy, man. JoJo is going to be just fine.
Yeah, I think they're they feel like they're kind of getting it together. We talked about it a little bit earlier, and once again we spoke a little about how the Falcons just feel like smoke and mirrors. I don't know how they got to 3-3.
No,
so
I don't understand how they got it. Yeah. I don't believe it. So we got another 1 o'clock
3-3. You could be fraudulent, but yeah, it does feel like that.
Detroit's coming off the bye week on there. The bye won. 28-21.
Yeah. Well, Nice.
They're on the road against Dallas. They're a 7.5-point dog against Dallas. Yeah, I think Dallas is going to win this one. Dak Prescott's back this week. Yeah, he could have been back last week, but why start him against Philly and let him get killed when you can start him against Detroit and let him throw for 500 yards?
Yeah, I was about to say he's got no defense to worry about. He's going to come in here. It's a perfect game to bring him back so that he's warmed up and up to speed. And then after they come back from their bye week in a couple of weeks, they should be in good spot. Their insufferable fans aside, yeah, Cowboys over for sure.
All right, Indianapolis is on the road. They're a 2.5-point dog against Tennessee.
Oh man, I don't know what Colts you're gonna get, but they've been stinking up the place lately. So I'm gonna take
Go
Tennessee.
Yeah. I don't know what Colts I'm gonna get this week on there, so I'm gonna have to go. Would I put money on it? No.
Yeah, it's another game. There's no reason to watch.
All right, we got another one. Green Bay is on the road against Washington. Green Bay is a 5.5-point favorite on there. Yeah. Washington is, I think, Henke is starting this week on there.
Yeah, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. I'm sorry, Green Bay. This will help them.
Green Bay, you better win this fucking game.
You do need to win this game, but this should help them kind of right the ship at least for 1 week and kind of feel good about themselves. I can't imagine that they get. They can't. Yeah,
they can't lose to Washington.
Lose this game. No.
All right, Tampa Bay is on the road against Carolina.
Once again, you cannot lose to Carolina.
Tampa Bay is a 9.5-point favorite on this one. Yes, give me Tampa.
And Brady's not happy with his 3-3. He's going to take it out on your ass after all this stuff that's been going on. What we were just talking about before this segment.
All right, your New York Football Giants, also a 1 o'clock game. They're a 2.5-point dog on the road again against Jacksonville.
They're a 2-point dog?
2.5-point dog to Jacksonville. Giants offense is not great. I'll give it the G-Man, baby.
The dog.
That defense is still playing some damn good ball. So, again, I'm going to take the G-Man.
Another insufferable fan base, but yes, I'm taking the G-Man as well.
There we go on that one as well.
We got one more 1 o'clock, right?
We got one more 1 o'clock game. We got Cleveland on the road against Baltimore. Cleveland's a 6.5-point dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Baltimore's got to right the ship sooner
Well, this
or later.
is the point where they finally hold on to the lead, right?
Yes.
Like, they finally don't lose that lead. They should have won some of these other games. And so, yeah, I would expect that this is a good opportunity to kind of right some of those wrongs and get themselves back on track. They need to be relevant in the conference there.
All right, we got the first of the 4 o'clock games on there. We got the New York Jets on the road to Denver, where they're a 3.5-point dog.
Oh, give me the dog.
Give me the Jets. Oh, my God.
Give me the dog, baby. Yeah.
I'm starting reading these on there. I'm going, oh, man, there's a lot of dogs on there.
Yeah.
Give me the Jets on this one.
Yeah, the Broncos can't figure nothing out.
No, they can't figure anything out. And, dude, they have no running game. Russell's lost on their Jets are not on their great, playing good defense, great running game on there. Give me the Jets.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And they got to, again, Salah's out. I mean, Hackett is looking to get fired.
Well, Hackett can't live up to his name because he can't.
No.
He can't hack it. It's been bad.
All right, another 4 o'clock game. We got Houston on the road to Vegas. They're a 7.5-point dog to Vegas. Vegas coming off the bye week on there and a tough loss to Kansas City. I got Vegas winning this one.
Yeah, I do too. The Texans might got rid of their crazy person, but it doesn't make them all of a sudden great.
No.
So it'll help down in the long run, but they're still a bad team. I expect the Raiders to be better at this point already. So yeah, I'm with you. I'll take Oakland.
All right,
the Vegas.
First of the 4:25 games on here, we got Seattle on the road at to the Chargers. Seattle's a 6.5-point dog. Chargers, we said was most disappointing team this year in there. They did win last week, not great on there, but I do believe they're gonna beat Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle's not good either. Actually, this might be a more entertaining game than you'd expect, but I'm the same way. Herbert seems to maybe starting to figure things out a little bit, so yeah, I'll take the Chargers.
All right, we got the last of the 4:25 games on there where there's only 2 of them. We got Kansas City on the road to Frisco, where Kansas City's the 3.5-point favorite on this one. Kansas City coming off the loss, Frisco coming off the loss.
Yeah, Frisco's about to add another loss.
Yeah,
There's no
I think
way.
Kansas City's going to win this one.
Yeah.
Kansas City's actually been playing pretty good. Actually, they've been playing good sides of the ball, both sides on there. So
Yeah,
I'll give
even
you-
in their losses, they've been playing good. You're not, losing to Buffalo is not. There's no shame in
losing to Buffalo, and basically you had a shot there in the last
Right.
minute to at least tie it up and everything to win
Right,
it.
so.
On there, I like that. All right, Sunday night we got Pittsburgh on the road against Miami.
Holy cow!
Um,
Wow, they got can they flex out of that game?
Unfortunately, not
Jesus.
yet. On there, Pittsburgh is the 6.5 point favorite. I don't care if it is Teddy Two Gloves starting this week. Give me Miami.
Yeah, you're taking Miami.
I'm taking Miami over Pittsburgh.
I wish I could. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh in this game. I think the Dolphins they don't have anything figured out there either, and this is an opportunity to come in and steal a game. I like Teddy Two Gloves, but they can't keep anybody upright, dude.
No.
So like.
But Pittsburgh hasn't done anything on defense, so I do believe on
Yeah,
that.
this might be their chance to get through because this is like
Yes.
they're like Swiss cheese over there. So I'm going out on a limb here. I'll take
Okay,
the
so you're
Steelers.
going with Pittsburgh. I'm going Miami. All right, Monday night game is a game. I'm again another one we don't need to watch.
Yeah, these night games, man. I don't really need to get. Yeah, I could just
We can
watch
get
the
some- we can get
scoreboard
some
later.
sleep.
Yeah.
Chicago's on the road to New England. The Bears are 7.5 point dog.
Well, yeah. The Bears they're terrible.
Billy Zappi's going to go for another 300 yards.
Yeah, he might have. Yeah, yep. Well, and that's what it is. I mean, the Patriots are going to be, in the mix if they keep playing this way, and you just can't get rid of them
Yep.
like gnats. But there you go.
There's our pick'ems on there. We do it different on a couple. We got to agree. There's a couple dogs on there
Yeah, we
that
got
are
some
worth
dogs
picking
in there.
up. So
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting look going forward this year. I think. I don't know, but yeah. Oh God, I hope we definitely had to do better than we did last week. Jesus.
and even last week we were at least 500, so we weren't terrible. But it's
Yeah. So it's gonna be a bit chilly. Doing what is it? Would you say it's supposed to warm up this weekend, or is that
it's
next
supposed to be
weekend?
near 70
So
both Saturday and Sunday.
so that's nice. So what are your big plans?
Gonna work in the yard on Saturday a little bit.
Yeah.
Try to get everything, all the flowers that we had on there. All right, the annuals, get them yanked out. Get the everything that we had from garden, all the tomato plants. Gonna yank everything out and get it ready for winter.
Yeah, I think I gotta go in the backyard and clean up some stuff if I can get in there. We're doing it's a cider mill season, so we'll be doing that.
We went Saturday to Yates for the girls' picture, but we didn't get there till about 5:15. Actually, it wasn't a bad time to do it. It wasn't too busy. It was busy, but it wasn't like, oh my God, where am I gonna park?
Right.
On there, but that was nice and everything.
Well, it can be busy and it still flows pretty good in there. Like you said, as long as you can get in and park, and it's pretty, some of these places are pretty big. I think she wanted to go to a different one this year. We usually go to Yates where you go.
Blake's maybe.
I don't know if she wanted to go to Blake's or not. I can't remember what it was. Maybe it had to have been. I mean, those
I think
are the
this is
two.
last year for Miller's.
Yeah.
Big Red.
Oh,
On
okay.
32 Mile
Right.
west of Van Dyke.
Yeah.
On there. I think that's their last year.
So either way, we're going out and doing that. I dig the warm cinnamon donuts and the apple cider.
Oh, God. Oh, it's with Yates on there. We got with the kids on there. And they're like, oh, yeah, I want to.
Their donuts are the perfect size at Yates. I'm a one biter, dude, and you gave a dozen donuts. That's all you brought out here. What y'all eating? What y'all eating?
Because you got the grease dripping in the bag.
You can see it. Like the bag's got that clear like coating to it. You can see it kind of greasing through it a little bit, but it doesn't matter to me because it's warm in my hand, and they will be gone before they're cooled.
Yes. So yeah, it was a little chilly on Saturday, so the girls wanted their cider slushies. So I said, "All right, I'll buy your ciders after their pit, as you see your pictures." So I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna go buy some. I'll get a dozen donuts." I said, "All I want is one donut." And said that. I said, "You guys can take the donuts home." So
Oh no!
get them there. I get because I had donuts at home.
I do know those are. I eat them things like Timbits.
Yeah, but I'm trying to be healthy and it's like
What
10
fun is that?
So they got on there, and I got a half gallon of cider for them to take home, and I got me a hot cider on there. But I did find a recipe
for apple cider bourbon mules.
Oh, wow.
So it's like 2 ounces of bourbon, 4 ounces of cider, 4 ounces of ginger beer. I'm all about that on Saturday, baby.
All right.
I got my ginger beer. I definitely got bourbon, and I've got some cider. So I will be having some cocktails.
Well, there you go. That's where it's
And
at.
a cigar because it'll be perfect out.
Well, if it's going to be nice and warm, yeah, I'm going to do that. I might, gosh, it's like when you have a nice warm weekend like that, it's hard to figure out all the things that you could just jam in there, right? Do I want to do yard work? Do I want to sneak off? And, you know, a lot of cats will be sneaking in golf in this neighborhood, in this area.
Astros are up 3-1, bottom of the 6th.
Are you sneaking off to a baseball game if you can? Well, obviously not a playoff game, but are you going to a game? Are you doing something? I don't know, man. It's going to be a nice weekend. I think I might... we'll just have the games on the radio and be traveling around about, I think, a little bit if it's going to be nice here. Enjoy the fall. Like I said, it's cider mill time, so we're going to do that. I'm going to shove my face full of donuts. I eat full-size cinnamon donuts like they're Timbits this time of year, dude. They're so good. And I'm going to be a fat kid and, you know, whatever, diabetes, whatever. Like, I don't even care. You only live once. And I ain't here for a long time. I'm here for a good time, damn it. And I want me some donuts. Like, if that's the worst thing I do is I OD on, like, sugary cinnamon donuts, then that's all right, man. It ain't bad. But
Yes.
I definitely get to sneak the cigar in, too. So, guys, do what you do when you do, but have a good time doing it and be good to each other. We love you guys. We'll see you next week. Peace!
Peace out, brothers.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.